Oh, 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 oh. I was right. I was right. Welcome welcome all to another issue of Friday Phil. I am your host, Philip, aka Unfiltered. Feel free to follow me on Vero, Instagram, Threads, as well as Blue Sky. Here on YouTube, you can catch me on Twitch. Here, talking everything and everything, double everything, triple everything, quadruple everything, nerd, DC, Marvel, Star Wars, video games, I don't know. Who's getting a Switch 2 next week? I'm getting a Switch 2 next week. Are you getting a Switch 2 next week? I fucking hope so. If you do, send me your friend code. I'll happily add you. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Friday. And again, I'm just going to reiterate, I was fucking right. I called that shit. I don't know if it was on the vodka stream. I don't know if it was on Council. I don't know if it was on Party Nation. But I called that shit. Breaking news. Breaking fucking news, everybody. Breaking news. Breaking fucking news. And that is, of course, Marvel Studios is not going to Comic-Con this year. Who called it? I called it. That's right, folks. I said it. As soon as Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars got pushed back. I don't remember what show it was, or if it even was on a show. It might have even been a Discord call with the guys. But I flat out fucking called it. I was like, there's no way Marvel goes to San Diego this year. And people were like, oh, but Phil, they want to hype up Doomsday. Motherfuckers, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. If they wanted to hype up Doomsday, all they have to do is start a 5-hour stream and lay out some fucking chairs. That's all they need to do to hype up that fucking movie. Or they just play a fucking stream with that fucking logo on it. Because everyone loves Avengers movies. But this does not fucking shock me. So I'm going to read this because I didn't want to have it all full screen. But this is from the Heat Vision email blog. I had to dig to find this. Apparently, according to Boris Kitt, Wednesday night, 2 nights ago, a few dozen people showed up to the Regal Long Beach for a mystery screening. Quote, from a major motion picture studio comes a new film, declared the invitation. When the lights went down and the picture came up, audiences were surprised to learn that Fantastic Four First Steps would be the evening's entertainment. Marvel topper Kevin Feige and director Matt Shakman were in attendance for the movie, which did include a post-credit tag. We won't spoil anything, nor will we reveal anything from the post-screening discussion. Suffice to say, the movie is 8 weeks away. That's 2 months as an eternity in today's movie-making world. Ain't that the fucking truth? And it's still being worked on. Marvel has traditionally eschewed test screenings, becoming famous for using, quote, family and friendly screenings. I can attest to this. An old coworker I had saw a version of Winter Soldier before it released worldwide. Anyway, and that's only because his dad was friends with someone who worked at Marvel, from what I remember. Anyway, but that has been slowly changing in the last few years. Deadpool and Wolverine, for example, had a research screening, as it was called, in New York last year. That also meant certain details, plot, or reaction leak and add chum to the waters for the haters. Test screenings aside, Fantastic Four opens the Friday of San Diego Comic-Con, and this year, here's where it comes in, folks. This year, Marvel will break with the tradition and not have its infamous, sense-shattering Saturday evening Hall H panel. Bam, 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 bam. Who fucking called that shit? This guy right fucking here. Soon as I saw that they were pushing Doomsday back, I was like, yeah, no, they're not gonna fucking spend the money to halt production, fly the cast over, and show off what little of the movie they have. There was no fucking way they were gonna do that. But Philip, how are they gonna hype the movie up? Are you dense? They're fucking Marvel Studios making an Avengers movie. All they have to do is throw a 30-second fucking teaser with Robert Downey Jr. standing there as Doom. And that'll garner 250 hits on fucking YouTube and collectively across social media. Duh! what the fuck? But no, I've seen people just fucking go, in like the last hour in which this broke, I've seen all manner of, why, Marvel? Why? Why aren't you going to San Diego? Why aren't we getting a Peacemaker DC Marvel Power timeout? Oh God, why? I've been saying it for like the last couple weeks. They weren't going to go to Comic-Con. And guess what, motherfuckers? I was right. And I don't usually like doing that because I'm not, that rat Jeff Snyder. I'm not Humberto Gonzalez. I'm not Grace Randolph. I don't like doing that shit. But you know what? This time, after the day that I've had, as soon as I saw this news, I was like, oh, it's time to lay the fucking cock on the table, motherfuckers. I was right. I called that shit. Called it. Now someone order me a motherfucking drink. Anyway, welcome to Friday Phil, everybody. How's everyone's Friday going? I'm having a fantastic Friday, pun intended. Let's see who's in the chat. I know you motherfuckers got some shit to say. Let's see. Yes, Donovan, I see your wall of text as per usual. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Both Word of Real and Jeff are lying scumbags that don't deserve any benefit of the doubt. Yes, Jeff Snyder is a lying scumbag rat motherfucker. We are aware of this. We know this. We know this all too well. Because...
You dirty rat!
Dirty fucking rat that man is. Anyway, I have no idea who Word of Real is. I don't really care. But if they're peddling the same shit he's peddling, chances are they're fucking wrong. And yes, I did see that bullshit about cutting 25 minutes out of Superman. I'm sorry. Did you see test screening 1 and test screening 2 and test screening 3? No? Oh, okay. So you heard this from motherfucker's friend who works at WB who's cousins with such and such, possibly related to David Zaslav? What? You actually don't fucking know? Oh my God. What a fucking surprise. What a shock. What a shock. What a fucking shock, right? And I've seen these numbers floating around for like the last 2 weeks, bud. I gotta be honest, I don't buy it. The reason I don't buy it is because we have no hard tracking. I saw an article kind of trying to break it down, but again, there are no hard numbers. Tickets haven't gone on sale. We do not know what Superman is tracking for. We don't know what Jurassic World is tracking for. We for damn sure don't know what Fantastic Four is tracking for. The month of July is still up in the air as far as ticket sales are concerned. But I wouldn't be shocked if it made somewhere in that ballpark. And I have a little bit of box office banter for you guys later on today, because we will be getting into some shit. Got it? Got it. Okay. Anyway. Braden, my man. What's up, dude? How you doing? Do you think there's a chance that Sony goes to Hall H to talk about Brand New Day? I think that is a strong possibility, my friend. I think that is a very strong possibility. Just because Marvel Studios skips out on San Diego doesn't mean Sony can swoop in and be like, hey, we got a movie coming next July. Huh? And it's Spider-Man. I could absolutely see them doing that, especially considering that Spider-Man is supposed to start shooting at the end of July. Now, it'll probably be a few weeks before we find out if Sony decides to go yay or nay. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. We shall see. DC needs to have big panel presence since Marvel Studios is not going to be there. They don't have to worry about getting upstaged by Marvel Studios. Yeah, I agree. And you know what? We will jump into that. That'll be the next thing I talk about once I get through the chat a little bit. Christopher McQuarrie's Superman pitch sounded cool on paper, but the management at the time wouldn't have allowed it, unfortunately. But now we do have competent management, and of course, Snyder Bros lost their marbles at. Well, no shit, Donovan. They lose their marbles at anything related to Superman who isn't Henry Cavill. And I will be talking about this too, because I have some insight to shed on this as well, because this is not news to me. I've known about this pitch for 7 years. 7 years. 7 years. What's up, Taladia? Welcome to the chat, my friend. The behind-the-scenes video of Superman interacting with children in the movie. That is what Superman is all about. That is what an aspect of Superman is about, but I don't disagree. A wholesome Superman is a good, intended Superman. And that's not a slight. at my favorite, Henry Cavill. No. But I will say, I did feel a certain way watching David Cornsweet interact with all those children and give the big warm and fuzzies. That was cool. I'll say it that way. Anyway. And very interested in the Batman-Deadpool crossover. Very interesting to see Grant Morrison writing the issue. Will do. Big time. Agree. Daryl Taylor, what's up, man? Kevin Feige with Marvel Studios can easily do a video call and can still surprise people with something at Comic-Con. I mean, honestly, he could show up at Comic-Con and just announce something and fucking drop the mic and walk the fuck away. Just because the Russos and the cast have to stay in London doesn't mean he has to. And I was reading further into this. Apparently, San Diego Comic-Con will have like a Fantastic Four-esque Marvel-ish fucking, extravaganza. Because when I went last year, they had like a big fucking section right in the middle of the hall. Not Hall H, but the convention center. They had a fucking stage. I witnessed an interview with Brad Winderbaum. They had the Captain America suits on display. They had the Deadpool and Wolverine suits on display. It was fucking beautiful. If you go on my Instagram, you can probably see those pictures. But yeah, it was dope as fuck, and I can see them absolutely dipping into the Fantastic Four corner of things for it this year. Whether or not I will go to San Diego, yet to be determined, folks. That is yet to be determined. I will let you guys know if I end up going. We'll see. It is yet to be determined. Happy Friday, Dalton. Good to see you. Keyblade Master Jeffrey. What's up, my friend? Good to see you as well. Oh, buddy. I love laughing like the Joker. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. Oh. Phil is right more than the rat is. And I don't even have any sources. Fuck Jeff Snyder. That dude's a fucking punk. I'll tell that fucker to his face. Fuck him. Anyway. Not getting the Switch? Oh, buddy. I'm getting the Switch. Oh, Jeff Snyder saying fake news. Everyone believing everything. Saying about James Gunn's Superman. Remove the humor and everything. You know what's really funny is like Jeff Snyder has a really funny track record of like trying to peddle this, shitty narrative about anything DC. And this goes back to like the Snyder Cut era. Dude was notorious for being like, and I quote, Warner Brothers will never release the Snyder Cut. Well, guess what, Jeff? You were wrong about that too. Anyway. Happy Friday, Phil. Guessing you heard about them having an early cast screening. Yeah, cool. Hey, I've muted people who were talking about a potential leak for that movie because I don't want to see anything pertinent to that movie until I watch the fucking movie. So yeah, I read it here in the fucking Heat Vision email. There we go. Oh, see, I said it here in council. Boom. There's the receipt. Probably last week. Who the fuck knows? Jeff might know. Jeffrey might know. Anyway. Dalton says, my head hurts after today. I also think you said it on both council and Party Nation. I probably did. Maybe it was both. I don't fucking, I don't know. Little Movie Perp. When can I get a solo talk with you on my channel? We can have a fun convo. Would love it. I'm not entirely sure. I'm a pretty busy guy. My schedule fills up fast. And I don't have Twitter, so if that's your only means of communication, you're SOL, because I am not on Twitter. Anyway. It was inevitable. Yes, it was. Phil needs a taco. Ha-ha! You know what's funny, Jeffrey? I had Taco Bell before I went live! Because I love Taco Bell. You do need a drink. Buy me one, William. Buy me a drink. Because let me just go ahead and reiterate. I was fucking right. That's right, folks. I was right. All right, that's enough gloating. Okay, that's enough. And also, there is no way Laura Linney is in Lantern. See, I'm telling you, no other trade ran with that. No one fucking ran and said, oh yeah, that's true. Nobody. I'm waiting until someone from Lanterns or James Gunn or even Boris Kit himself, someone more official than that fucking rat, Jeff Snyder. If anyone can like clip out like the times I continue to say rat Jeff Snyder, that would be fucking hilarious, and I'll pay you $5. Swear to God. Looking good, brother. I'm good, brother. No, I'm not. My hair is gone and I feel old and different. But you're looking fabulous as always, Christopher. You're looking fabulous as always, my friend. Had fun listening to your show earlier today. That was a great episode you and Dave did. Need some hard liquor, William. That's right, William. Get me some fucking really good liquor and I'll tell all. I will tell all. Remember, this is Sony we're talking about. They're pretty good at tripping over themselves. Oh, man. That'd be funny. Technically, Marvel Studios will be at San Diego. They just won't have a Hall H presentation. The HR article detailed what they will have be doing floor and other blah, blah, blah. Correct. You are correct, Chris. You are right. I did mention that they will be leaning into the Fantastic Four of it all and have... I would imagine they're probably going to have like a mock-up of the... like a floor of the Baxter building or something. I don't know. Maybe they'll do like a mock-up of the space station. Dude, I don't fucking know. But if I go there, best believe I will take pictures and video. I will wear this shirt. I will take a fucking smock from work and go as scientist Reed Richards if I fucking have to. Holy shit. Anyway. She would make sense to be in Lanterns because because the showrunner is the same showrunner of Ozark. It was an Ozark, but I don't trust that. Oh, that's right. It was fucking Umberto. Oh, no. Oh, right. Gonzalez said something about Brainiac being in Superman. I don't buy that fucking at all. Period, bar none. Gunn can still pivot from what he said earlier this week that their SDCC focus will be Peacemaker. I just think this is the moment to be proud about Superman, show it off, and tease out what they do have. I agree, Chris. I agree. And if Peacemaker is this universe opener in the way that they are anticipating it to be, they could just relegate it to Peacemaker with a few surprises. We shall see. Fans responding to the test screening news is like me responding to neurosurgery talk. Well, you know, armchair executives gonna armchair executives, William. They think they know fucking everything based off of leaks and what some asshole says on Twitter. Anyway. Yeah, if it was true, the trades would be all over it. Exactly. Exactamundo. If any of what would have been fucking said at all was true, specifically the Laura Linney casting, if there was any hint of that actually being true, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety would have been fucking all over it, and James Gunn likely would have confirmed it too. But even then, if she's playing like a small character, I doubt he'd even give it the time of day. I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. Off topic. Getting tired of toxic fans. Just saw a bunch of Halo fans complaining about getting a book that continues the story of Infinite instead of DLC, and I'm just happy to get more Halo. Dude, fans fucking suck sometimes. Dalton, let me tell you, man, being a fan of DC, being a fan of Marvel, being a fan of Star Wars, being a fan of Pokemon. Well, actually, the Pokemon crowd's actually very chill. But being a fan of... what's another one? Anime in general. Oh, God. Like, anime fans are fucking lethal. Ugh. But yes, fandoms, the lunatic side of fandoms are just fucking, uggo. Fucking ugly. Fucking ugalicious. Anyway, Braden says, as much as I would love Brainiac to be in Superman, I just don't trust Humberto Gonzalez. He tried to say Sergeant Rock was canceled. Never trust anything Humberto Gonzalez says, because Humberto Gonzalez, much like Tatiana Siegel, much like Jeff Snyder, much like anyone with a penchant for a lack of integrity, they always try and spin a negative story for a click. That's why Dumberto works for a shit rag like The Wrap. That's why Tatiana Siegel openly does nothing but fluffy bullshit puff pieces. That's why Jeff Snyder constantly goes on the Hot Mic show every week to be like, hey guys, guess what I fucking heard? Here's my cheese. Fucking clown shoes, all of them. Every last one of them. Anyway, let's get right into it, my guys and girls. Let's see. Okay, so before I get into the nitty-gritty of the shit, I'm going to go over something that I saw that was actually quite fucking wild. This was like, whoa, what the fuck? Check this shit out. This is some fucking wild shit. Okay, so this came on May 27th. I don't know why the fuck I said March. See, I'm getting my M months mixed up. Okay, so Robin Williams' Popeye had the most coked up film set and everyone was stoned, says former studio boss. Quote, they were shipping cocaine in film canisters. What the fuck? What? What? What the fuck? Like, what in the fucking fuck? Like, I don't know how to react to this. This is just like, you know, what the fuck? Okay, so I'm going to read it off because I don't feel like having that shit shown up on the screen so you guys can barely see my face. But I'm going to read this as per Variety states. Barry Diller's book tour for his recently published memoir, Who Knew, hit New York City's 92Y, where moderator Anderson Cooper asked Diller during a Q&A to reveal quote, the most coked up film set he ever visited during his tenure as the CEO of Paramount Pictures. The former studio executive had the answer almost immediately. Robert Altman's Popeye, 1980. Wow. Holy shit. Coked up film set? Oh, Popeye, Diller answered via Entertainment Weekly. By the way, you can watch it. If you watch Popeye, you're watching a movie that you think of in the thing that they used to be hold on. You think of it in the thing that they used to do about record speeds, 33 RPM, whatever. This is a movie that runs at 78 RPM and 33 speed. Fuck. That's wild. Diller served as the head of Paramount Pictures from 1974 until 1984. His illustrious tenure at the studio included the release of hit movies such as Saturday Night Fever, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Grease, and of course, Beverly Hills Cop, among other classics. But it's Altman's Popeye that earns the distinction of having, quote, the most coked up film set. Fuck me, that's a lot of coke, guys. I didn't just do coke live. We don't
do that here.
We don't do that here. No, we're family friendly with the PG 16, 17, 18, or okay, maybe rated R. Anyway, you couldn't escape it, Diller said about drug use on the movie set. They were actually shipping in film canisters at the time. Films can be sent back to LA for daily processing film. This was shot in Malta, and we found out that the film cans were actually being used to ship cocaine back and forth to the set. Everyone was stoned. Is stoned really the right word, Mr. Diller? I can't agree to that. Because stoned has a very different meaning in 2025 than it did in 1980, I guess. Anyway. Robin Williams starred as the title character in Popeye, which marked the comedian's first big screen acting role after making a name for himself on hit television series Happy Days and its spin-off Mork and Mindy. The film co-starred Altman regular Shelley Duvall as Olive Oyl. The movie was a box office success with $60 million worldwide, unadjusted for inflation. What does that come out to after inflation? I don't know. Nearly double its production budget. Reviews, however, were mixed, and that's why there probably wasn't a Popeye sequel. Yeah. Wow, that's Porky Pig. That's not Popeye. Variety wrote the original Popeye review. It is more than faint praise to say Popeye is far, far better than it might have been considering the treacherous challenge it presented. But avoiding disaster is not necessarily the same as success. To the eye, Robin Williams is terrifically transposed in the squinting sailor with bulging arms, but to the ear, his mutterings are not always comprehensible. Oh, Popeye fucking mutters. Of course he's not comprehensible. What the fuck? But yeah, guys, like most coked up film set on Paramount for Paramount. Popeye the Sailor Man. I can't believe that actually worked. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh man, that's too funny. Too funny. With a baby on set. What? Did the baby do coke? I fucking hope not. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. Speaking of babies, okay, maybe not babies, but infants, children. We now have our castings for Excuse me, I'm quite gaseous today. I haven't finished my chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. We have our castings for Harry Potter, the HBO series. Yes, Chris, will someone think of the children? Think of the children. Think of the children. Here we have it, officially from Warner Brothers Discovery. HBO original Harry Potter television series sets cast for roles of Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and of course, Ron Weasley. There they are. The HBO original television series has cast newcomers Dominic McLaughlin in the role of Harry Potter, Arabella Stanton as Hermione Granger, and Alistair Stout as Ronald Weasley. There they are. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. They look fucking perfect. Especially the kid playing Harry Potter. Holy fuck. Put a scar on his head. Give him some glasses. He looks like Daniel Radcliffe at the age of 8. Okay, I actually don't know how old any of these kids are. But they look like them. They fucking look like the kids. And oh God. Holy shit. Holy shit. Hermione isn't white. Oh no. Oh God. Woke. Oh God. Nerdrotic and the Quartering and fucking Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers are probably having the biggest fucking meltdown right now. Oh God. Oh fuck. Hermione isn't a white girl. Holy shit. Guys, let me tell you something. If any one of these castings bother you, you are the fucking problem. And I know that doesn't apply to anyone in this chat, because I know you're all level-headed human beings. But yes, as people are pointing out in the chat, pray to God those children stay off the internet. Yes. Don't do what the kids for Stranger Things did. Don't do what other child actors do. Do not go on the internet. Warner Brothers better protect those kids and shut down anyone who dares come after them. Seriously and without justification. Socials coming after them. They better shut those trolls down. And this is coming from someone who is not a Potter fan. Listen, I like Harry Potter. I am not the mega fan that I used to be. But my grandmother, bless her soul, may she rest in peace. Love you, Grandma Fran. She got me Harry Potter book 7 when it came out, day of. She stood in line for like 3 hours waiting to buy me this fucking book because she knew how badly I wanted to read it. I am a Potter fan by very nature. I started reading Harry Potter at the ripe old age of 9 when I made it into 3rd grade. Surprising, yes, I know. I even graduated high school. Oh, fuck. Philip's educated? You don't fucking say. Oh, trick question there, folks. I actually have a degree in computer science and network technology. Anyway. Protect the children. Listen, nobody's telling you to watch HBO's Harry Potter. If you think the movies did a fine enough job, but you have the movies, watch them. If you don't think any of the castings for any of the adults are great or good or whatever, okay, fine. Watch the show, criticize the fucking adults for all I care. I don't give a fuck. The kids? Off limits. You leave those fucking kids alone. I don't give a fuck who you are. Hell, I wouldn't be shocked if 1 or 2 of my old co-hosts from the 4 Nerds, and you fucking know which ones I'm talking about, not Anthony or Dawson, I'll say that, but wouldn't be shocked if we saw a bunch of fucking troglodytes on the internet going, well, they're not like Daniel Radcliffe or Emma Watson or even Rupert Grint. Well, no fucking shit, Sherlock. These kids are like 11. The other 3 are like in their 30s. Fucking hello. Duh, moron. Like, what the fuck? Seriously, these kids, protect them at all costs. Okay? Listen, I don't give a damn about Stranger Things. Okay? But they got criticized as kid actors, and even though I didn't like the fucking show and I didn't like the fucking kids all that much, the actors, leave them be, okay? It's just not fucking cool. Saying that from experience. It's just not a fucking cool thing. I did it when I was younger. I'm not proud of it. I'm trying to be better about it, because you just don't fucking criticize kid actors, okay? Okay, there. End of conversation. You don't fucking talk shit about kid actors portraying, especially ones tied to an IP like Harry Potter. You just don't fucking do that, okay? Okay. All right. Moving on. And you know what? Someone said in the chat, they don't see. Okay. Listen, Swiper. That is entirely dependent on the longevity of the show, the number of episodes they do each season, and the viewership. Ultimately the viewership. If they run into like a Last of Us situation, difference is with Last of Us, they've already guaranteed a third season anyway. So it doesn't fucking matter about the viewership from season 1 to 2. They'll greenlight this whole motherfucker and probably not care. With the amount of people invested in Harry Potter, believe me, this will have eyes on it. Harry Potter, before DC, was one of the biggest money makers as far as Warner Brothers films went. So it does not fucking shock me that they are going to reboot the franchise as a television show where you can literally adapt the books almost page for fucking page. I'm not shocked, okay? I'm gonna go into it with tempered expectations. Like, okay, those movies happened. They were great for what they were, even though I'm not a fan of the last 4. I actually quite like the first 4 more. So, for me, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's see how this starts out, and hopefully by the time we get to where I wasn't a fan, maybe by the end of it, I will be a fan. Because I actually like the books more than the movies. Specifically, books 5 through 7 as opposed to movies 5 through 8. Yes, I'm counting Deathly Hallows Part 2 as movie 8 because that's what it is. It's the 8th movie in the fucking franchise. Enough said. Anyway. Antonio Baker, welcome to the chat, my friend. Welcome to the chat. They'll probably have 2,100,000 subscribers by the time they get to season 4. I mean, dude, who the fuck knows? As far as 8 episodes, I don't know about that. Maybe for the first 3 books, but after that, those books get fucking big and they become wildly large to adapt. Okay. Anyway, but yes, that is our new Potter trilogy. Trinity. Why did I say trilogy? I meant Trinity. That is the word there. Trinity. Like Neo's love interest in Matrix. That was a bad say. That was a fucking awful comparison. Anyway, staying in the Warner Brothers / I mentioned DC camp. Here we go. I'm sure Donovan will get a fucking kick out of this. Prepare yourself, Donovan. James Gunn and John Cena talk Peacemaker Season 2's new opening credits and Michael Rooker's role. There's also a quote here from Gunn to EW. It very much connects to Superman. That's right, guys. I'm going to be talking about Peacemaker. It's in the fucking thumbnail for a reason. All right. I'm going to break down this EW article. Here we go. Do you really want to taste a new opening credit scene to Peacemaker Season 2? No, I don't. Creator James Gunn and star John Cena promised that the new dance sequence will be just as good as the now viral scene set to Wigwam's Do You Want to Taste It, with an added bonus this time. Oh boy. I'll give you an exclusive. You get to see Eagly try to dance for the first time. So that's really something. He's not the best at it, but he tries to really join in on the dance sequence, and at the end, he's got a little pose this time. He kind of had a pose at the beginning of the fucking dance too, but whatever. All right. Well, fans won't get to see the new credits dance sequence until Comic-Con in July. Cena promises it will be worth the wait. This time around, everybody looked at it through a different lens, knowing how much the audience enjoyed the first one. Oh, that means they doubled down on the bullshit. The actor who plays the titular DC antihero. We knew this was going to be a cornerstone of the show, so let's dive in. Everyone gave their best in season 1, but I just think people now know the importance of it, and hopefully it shines through in season 2. As for the show, scrapped. As for why the show scrapped the fan favorite credit sequence to film a new one for season 2, Gunn explains they really had no other choice. We killed everyone in that season, so we kind of had to. Everyone died. That's a good point. He says with a laugh, also, we have a lot of new cast members. Tim Meadows is Langston Fleury. Saul Rodriguez is Sasha Bordeaux. And Michael Rooker's in the cast. Judo Master is a bigger character this time. So I knew that I needed to do a new dance. Great. The bigger question that Gunn faced was whether to keep the Wigwam song for a new choreographed dance or to pick a totally new hair metal track. I really went back and forth an awful lot. And at the end of the day, I decided we use a new song that's a little bit more about what the season's about. Oh, that's terrifying. The showrunner and new head of DC clarifies he didn't set out to one up the last season's credit sequence because he knew that would most likely fail. Credit where credit is due. People do love that fucking opening credits. I'm not one of them. I think there's 4 billion views of the dance sequence on TikTok. So when you have something that's that viral, I just wanted to do a good job with the new dance sequence. I don't know if the dance sequence is ever going to one-up the first because no one expected it. It was a complete surprise, and you just can't replicate that. However, the surprises within the show itself, I think, replicate that many times over because there's so many more twists and turns in this season with what happens when you find out about this universe. Like it's in a pocket universe, maybe? I don't know. Just kidding. It's been more than 3 years since the hilarious and deranged Suicide Squad spin-off series debuted on HBO Max, and Cena is just grateful he was able to finally don Peacemaker's shiny helmet again, no matter how long it took. In case anyone doesn't know and you're new here, I don't like Peacemaker very much. Cena says, thank you for your patience. I knew we've had a lot of fans that have been waiting with bated breath, and the DC Universe went through a bit of a shift, so I'm glad we're here now, and I think everything is done in the right perspective. I'm so grateful that the audience hasn't forgotten about us, and to have James not abandon ship and hang in there for whenever the time was right to get back to work. That's really good. Credit where credit is due. Gunn admits the extra long wait was simply because of me. Of course, we knew this, and that's not a slight. The guy's a busy guy. He explains, once I was done with Peacemaker, I had to go do Guardians 3, and then I was about ready to jump back into Peacemaker, and I got hired to be the head of DC. As soon as I got that job, I made a couple of calls, and the first one was to Marvel's Kevin Feige. What? Of course he called Kevin Feige first. Duh. He's basically like telling his old boss, hey, got a new job. I don't have to start it until this time, but hey, making you a movie, so just a heads up, dude. We're going to be in competition, but don't worry, I'm going to finish the movie for you. I'm assuming that's a very abridged version of how that conversation went. Because I don't know. Anyway, telling him that I'm taking the job as head of DC. The second one was to John Cena, and I said I'm getting this gig. I still want to do Peacemaker, but it's going to have to wait. We're going to have to get Superman working first. Okay. Is that a directive from Mr. David Zaslav? Telling him you need to get a fucking Superman movie made? That's just something I'm inferring off the way that was worded. I don't know. Can't say for sure. Not going to say I know for sure. I'm not that asshole. But it just seems interesting that they had to get Superman working before they jump back into Peacemaker. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Because they could have done what Marvel did and just started off with, I don't know, Martian Manhunter, a fucking different character like they did with Marvel Studios and Iron Man. I don't know, man. No, getting Superman right call. IMO. The showrunner laughs as he adds, just to get through this other little movie, this little side project first, referring to Superman. As soon as I was done writing Superman, I was able to write season 2 of Peacemaker. I know it seems like a long time for other people, but for me, it seemed awful short because there were so many things I did in between, like Creature Commandos. Matter of fact, oh wait, no, he did Creature Commandos before he even got Superman, so there's that. It seems like Gunn accomplished a superhuman task with the sheer amount of movies and shows in the past few years, which includes Creature Commandos. While planning out the future of the entire on-screen DC universe, that's because it absolutely was. Quote, I will never do it again, he admits with another laugh. I'll tell you that much. Oh, excuse me. It was way too much, the head of DC Studios says. Taking over all of DC's slate in between Peacemaker seasons turned out to benefit the series, since it actually helped Gunn weave Season 2 into the larger overall universe more organically. I developed it along with the way in conjunction with the other DC projects that we're doing, so it's very much connected to Superman. It's very much connected to what comes after. I had a rough idea of what I was going to do, but it was actually quite different than what the show ended up being. I mean, Homeboy's read a lot of DC comics, and if he can figure out a way to take a character like this from one existing DC universe into a new existing DC universe, more power to him. Let's see how he fucking does it. The Season 2 trailer already revealed some big Superman cameos: Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern, Isabella Merced's Hawkgirl, and Sean Gunn's Maxwell Lord. James Gunn reveals there's even more connections to DC's big screen reset coming in Peacemaker. You have seen what we call the QUC, the Quantum Unfolding Chamber, in the first season of Peacemaker, and we see more about that technology in Superman. The QUC is the center of the story in Peacemaker Season 2. We see a lot of different characters from Superman in the season, including Isabella, Nathan, and Sean, and then we see a bunch of other characters later on in the season from other parts of the DCU and from Superman. There might even be one really, really, really big cameo near the end of the show. You don't say. Anyone want to bet that it's Superman or the Engineer or Lex Luthor? Fuck if I know, man. I'm not taking any guesses. You guys can guess in the chat. I ain't gonna guess. As for why the patriotic killer Peacemaker, real name Christopher Smith, finds himself face-to-face with the Superman trio glimpsed in the trailer, James Gunn explains that it's a direct result of the events of Season 1. We've come into Season 2 with Peacemaker, knowing that he saved the world from the butterflies. He thinks he's a big star now, and he should be a real superhero. And we see that at the very beginning of Episode 1 that he's meeting with a group of superheroes from Superman, and he's basically interviewing for membership in the group. But they just mock him the entire time, so he's not taken seriously. Well, I can't really say that's surprising. Season 2 is going to explore how Peacemaker struggles to be taken seriously by the metahuman community. Okay, that's kind of a decent hook. He's still considered a punchline among all the other metahumans, so he's still starting the season in a bad place. As for all of our heroes, all of the 11th Street kids, well, everybody but Vigilante, who just always seems to be okay with everything. Well, if there's one character I'm not a fan of the way he adapted, it was definitely Vigilante. James reveals that it's also been a couple years on the show since the events of the finale, but he's keeping the timeline vague on purpose. I see how difficult, after all my time at Marvel, it makes things truly fit together. So it's unspecified amount of couple years. Of course it is. That allows the show to introduce some new characters, including Rooker's new role after appearances in the Suicide Squad and Creature Commandos. Rooker debuts in Season 2 as the nemesis to Peacemaker's eagerly sidekick. His name is Red Saint Wild, and he's the world's foremost eagle hunter who's on a mission to kill Eagly. Not gonna lie, that's kind of a goofy name. We thought Eagly was probably the most popular character from Season 1, and so in Season 2, he has his own story with his nemesis, played by none other than the despicable Michael Rooker. Oh my god. I need to get through this because I can't fucking take this shit seriously. Another new character that James can't wait for fans to meet is the Argus agent Langston Fleury, played by comedy veteran Meadows, because he fills the void left by Peacemaker's emotional growth. In a lot of ways, Peacemaker has changed a lot this season. He's much more softer guy. He's a much more nicer guy. He's less in your face and less obnoxious and less aggressive. He has changed as a human being. So Langston Fleury actually takes up a lot of being a total asshole in the same way Peacemaker was last season. He's very politically incorrect asshole throughout most of the season, and also an incredibly funny guy. There's clearly a lot to look forward to in Peacemaker's long-awaited return, James still has one more tease up his sleeve. It's all about the twists and turns. It's about the surprises that we find out in episode 1. It's about the surprises we find out in episode 6 and 8. And it's very, very emotional season. There's a lot of comedy like the first season. There's also a lot of emotion in it, and it's really good. Peacemaker finally returns Thursday, August 21st, 9 Pacific Eastern Time on HBO Max. Well, that's cool. So here's a picture of Michael Rooker as the character named Red Saint Wild. I have no fucking clue what is even going on here. Homeboy has a massive musket, some braids, some Indian garb, a fucking bowler cap. Like, what in the fuck is going on with this character? Foremost Eagle Hunter. Okay. But yeah, that's cool. Did you guys know that Michael Rooker's also voicing one of the robots in Superman? Because he totally is. Like, go back and watch the sneak peek. You can hear Rooker's voice clear as day as one of the fucking robots. He says 14 fractured bones. It's fucking Michael Rooker. I guarantee you, it's Michael fucking Rooker. Jeffrey says, you look very dead inside when reading that. Guys, oh, wait. I didn't mean to. Well, I guess so. Jeff Snyder stirring up bullshit again. Yeah, he's saying James Gunn is writing World's Finest, which I hope is not happening because the pot is all ready and we don't need to add more fuel. Okay. Well, in regards to that.
You dirty rat. God damn it!
You lying sleaze. You want to rethink that answer?
Donovan says, Peacemaker season 1 shocked me with how great it was. And before The Penguin, I considered it at the time the best DC show at the time. I mean, I don't even know what I would consider the best DC show, to be brutally honest with you. I'd have to really think about that. What is the best DC show, and does that include the Arrowverse? Does that include the Max stuff? Does that include fucking DC Universe? Like, what is the criteria of best DC show? Because there have been many over the years. So I don't know how I would answer that. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, Donovan. I know you're a huge James Gunn fan. I am not quite his biggest fan, but I'm also not his biggest detractor. Anyone who knows me knows that's the fucking case. I own a fucking Superman shirt, for crying out loud. So, yes, my son is in the chat. The Phil Clip Show. Buddy, if you've clipped anything from my show, you are obligated to send me those clips. Just know that. Just know that. All right. Staying in the DC realm of things, let's get right into this fucking crossover. Holy shit! Guys, it's fucking happening. Why isn't it letting me fucking zoom in on the image? Oh, I'll take that one. Look at this! Look at this! Deadpool and Batman? What? What? Look at this! Look at this shit! Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Holy shit! Holy fuck! Holy shit! Oh my god!
This is fucking awesome. This is fucking awesome. This is fucking awesome. This is fucking awesome.
This shit is fucking awesome! Holy fuck, guys! Batman and Deadpool are meeting in a fucking crossover. Holy shit! Hot fuck! Oh my god! Oh Christ! Oh sweet Marvel Jesus! Oh sweet Batmania! Oh my fucking god! It's happening! There's a Marvel DC crossover happening, and it's fucking Batman and Deadpool! Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Just fucking look. I can't zoom in on this shit. Even though I want to. I fucking really want to. I really, really want to, and it just won't let me do it. But this image is fucking banger right here from Dan Mora. Oh my god. So good. So good. Oh man. Oh man. So back in February, Comics Pro panel held in Glendale, California, the editor-in-chief of Marvel and DC revealed they were quietly assembling something they hadn't pulled off in more than 2 decades, a crossover event. Yay! From time to time, going back as far as 1976 with the arrival of Superman vs. The Amazing Spider-Man, the big 2 comic brands have been known to bring their superhero titans together for kind of convergence that their cross-pollinating fan bases crave. Yes, we do. Yes, we fucking do. You're goddamn right. Oh, man. The last time they did this was in 2003 when JLA Avengers kicked off, a comic book that played out into the following year. There hasn't been a collaboration of this magnitude since. A lot of things have to align. Dan Buckley, the president of Marvel Comics and Franchise, explains to Entertainment Weekly. Mostly, we plan our editorial schedule pretty far out. DC does their schedule pretty far out. You want to have the right talent involved because with this type of thing, you want to elevate it as much as you can to get people excited. Jim Lee, the president, chief creative officer, and publisher for DC Comics, echoes similar sentiments in a separate chat over Zoom, noting how DC typically works 2 to 3 years in advance. Did I tell you guys I ran into Jim Lee at Comic-Con? Because I totally ran into Jim Lee at Comic-Con, and it was awesome. It happens every once kind of generation of readers. I'll leave you to draw your own conclusions as to why. The timing has to be right. If you don't want to do these too often, you want them to feel special. It is sort of finding the right moment for both companies to come together because it is complex. There's a lot more coordination, collaboration, approvals that have to be done. Obviously, from the business side, you're sharing revenue. It's going to be a big deal. So you want the story creatively to warrant the hype of it all. The time to reveal the next crossover is finally here. Deadpool meet Batman. I mean, hey, Deadpool's $1 billion character. Batman's $1 billion character. It only fucking makes money sense to put them together in a fucking comic book. Fucking why not? Like, come on, man. EW can exclusively reveal Marvel's Merc with a Mouth and DC's Dark Knight will collide this year. Crossing swords and batarangs across new publishing event. On the Marvel side, Zeb Wells, the Spider-Man comics scribe. Ooh, that probably wasn't the best endorsement there. Pens the Deadpool Batman one-shot with art, cover design by veteran artist Greg Capullo, who I love. Greg Capullo is an artist. Story kicks off September 17th, tells how Wade Wilson is hired for a job in Gotham City that puts him in the crosshairs of the world's greatest detective. Accompanying the main one-shot will be a lineup of, quote, backup adventures that feature exciting Marvel and DC character matchups, according to an official description. However, details on what that entails, including the creative teams, will be shared at a later date. Interesting. After writing Amazing Spider-Man for 60 issues, I told Marvel I needed a break. Wells told EW in a statement via email. Marvel told me I could do that, or I could write a comic starring Deadpool and Batman with the best Batman artists of our generation. I no longer needed a break. In Batman, we found someone who has even less time for Deadpool's antics than Wolverine. But in a citywide threat from the Joker, makes strange bedfellows. Literally, if Deadpool had his way. Oh, there's going to be a fucking joke in there about Deadpool fucking Batman. I'm here for it. It's been a blast letting Deadpool loose in Gotham City and watching what happens. Capullo feels similarly. Am I dreaming? This crossover is likely to be the high point of my career, and I've had a great career. The artist adds via email, some of my earliest work was on X-Force, so Deadpool and I go way back. More recently, I spent 10 years plus drawing Batman at DC. The idea that I get to do a crossover event with Deadpool and Batman, if I'm dreaming, please don't wake me. Hats off to Greg Capullo, my guy. You are the fucking man, and I can't wait to fucking read this book. Can't wait. Cannot wait. DC brings together comparable creative heavyweights to tackle their respective one-shot. Batman Deadpool, launching later this November, hails from writer Grant Morrison, whose comics include All-Star Superman and Batman and Son, now serve as an inspiration for the James Gunn and Peter Safran-led DC movie universe. Artist Dan Mora, who, similar to Capullo, has an immense list of credits to his name. Details on DC's story and the accompanying backup adventures will be announced at a later date. The dynamic duo of Morrison and Mora previously worked together on Klaus the Boom Studios comic series that reimagined Santa Claus as a muscled, grizzled warrior. I must say, that book was actually pretty fucking cool. Claus, check it out. I don't do many comics these days, but there was no way I could turn down the chance to work with Dan Mora again, one of my all-time favorite arts collaborators. And definitely no way I could turn down Batman and Deadpool, Morrison says in a statement. Expect fourth wall busting mayhem, owls, blood, blades, and at least one giant typewriter. Grant Morrison is a fucking genius when it comes to doing fourth wall breaks. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I do not at all blame them for not passing this up. They are fucking intelligent for tackling this. And I fucking love Grant Morrison. One of the best writers ever. Period. Mora also writes over email, "This is more than I ever imagined I could do in my career and is a huge honor to be part of this crossover. It doesn't happen too often and I'm a huge Deadpool fan. When I first worked with Grant, I didn't know what to expect, but it was an incredible team up. I always hope to work with Grant again. Working on Batman Deadpool is like a dream come true. Grant and I are working together on this once-in-a-lifetime project. It is going to be such a fun experience." Deciding the right combination of characters crossover involved a constant flurry of emails, Lee explains. It's not just two people, it's a group of people. So yeah, the conversations tend to be very robust and long. Buckley adds, "It just felt like a fun combo. I'll be quite frank. It was nothing more complicated than that. Deadpool hanging out with Batman. There's a lot of levity to be had there and a lot of fun. It would be also a little bit uber violent at the same time. Our big thing was we want to do something that is like a lot of fun, showcase comics, generate excitement, and bring new readers or lapsed readers back into the industry." The other piece of news is that Deadpool Batman or Batman Deadpool is not the end of the Marvel DC crossovers. Another set of one-shots will arrive sometime in 2026, though both sides remain quiet in terms of which characters will team up next and which creatives will be involved involved to create those adventures. There we go. Sorry, words are hard and I'm talking fast. Anyone that's working in comics today grew up with Marvel DC crossover at some moment in their reading timeline history, Lee cryptically comments. I think once you become a creator, you want to work on the biggest characters for both companies, but then to be able to do something that only happens every 15, 20 years, it is something you don't want to pass up. So I think fans are going to see a lot of interesting projects from their favorite creators. That's all I can say. I will be pre-ordering both of these books. I will own both of these books. This is a dream come true, motherfuckers. Holy damn. I'm so pumped for this. This is going to be so much fun. Deadpool and fucking Batman. Bet you anything, all the Deadpool chuds are probably like, "Oh, you know, Deadpool's going to fuck Batman up." And I'm just over here like, you know, Batman's fought characters like, I don't know, Ra's al Ghul, Deathstroke, people with unlimited healing factors, more times than anyone can count. It's funny, I was actually having a conversation on Threads regarding what if Spider-Man and Batman swapped cities. People were like, "Oh, Spider-Man would clear through Gotham without even trying. Batman would be exhausted by the end of the weekend." And I'm like, fucking what? Really? Like, listen, I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of, if not my favorite Marvel character ever fucking created. But this notion that he is like a fucking almost Superman level fucking powerhouse? Fuck out of here with that bullshit. No, Spider-Man's strong. I will give him that. He is a very strong, capable character. But he's not this invincible fucking one-punch motherfucker that some of these guys in my comments made him out to be. I was like, you guys are out to lunch. Go fly a fucking kite. Oh my God. But no, seriously, like Batman and Deadpool, that description of like someone who has less patience for Deadpool than Wolverine, and of course it's Batman. I am here for it. I am so fucking here for it. Oh my God, my notifications are blowing up. But okay. Okay, so I saw Dalton. I think it was Dalton. Dalton mentioned it very early on. This is news to me. What? Yes, it is happening. This is a thing. It is happening. It releases in September and November, and I can't fucking wait. Oh man. Hype intensely. That's right, Jeffrey. You are 1000% correct. Monumental Comics in the chat saying that's banging. That's right. Maybe Deadpool is arrested. I don't know. It sounds like he's there to do something with the Joker. William says, I hope this crossover mess is limited to these characters. I have enough quarter comics. Dude, I hope you get a lot of pre-orders for this, because I know that would be great business for you. Very interesting combo indeed. The fact Dan Mora is such an inspiration to me. That's so that's awesome. Deadpool talking his ass. He can't kill Batman. No, he's not gonna kill Batman for the same reason he wouldn't try and kill fucking Wolverine. Well, actually, he tried to kill Wolverine and Wolverine just can't die. Batman, well, he can't die either because he's fucking smart. Why do I feel like Batmite will be involved? I think Dalton might be on to something there. I think he might be on to something there. Cameron Walker in the chat. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing well. I love Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman. His New 52 Superman was a surprise. Just finished reading a couple weeks ago. I read George Perez's Superman for New 52. I did not read Action Comics from Grant Morrison. I need to go back and read that. Dalton Bell. Claps. Let's clap. This is going to clap hard. It's going to clap so fucking hard. I will actually read both of these books when they come out. Yeah, same. I'm going to do the same thing. I still want to know what the DCU Bane and Deathstroke project is. I don't even think that movie has a title of any kind. I have no fucking clue what's cooking there. But you got Deathstroke in it, so I'm gonna fucking watch it. Anyway, speaking of things that are cooking, what was once cooking and what could have cooked. Guys, hot shit. Hot shit. This is gonna be fucking... Have you read the new Superman Unlimited run? No, but I am going to be talking about Superman here very, very shortly, but not Dan Slott Superman. We'll be talking about a very specific version of Superman that could have happened at a point, but did not because, well, Warner Brothers fucking sucks. Let's talk about Christopher McQuarrie's Superman pitch. So he was recently on Josh Horowitz's Happy, Sad, Confused, and they were talking about Superman and how Christopher McQuarrie once pitched a Superman story to Warner Brothers. Now, I have the volume low because I don't know if I'm going to get hit with a copyright for this. I hope I don't. But this will be McQuarrie and Horowitz. I even have the subtitles on, so hopefully I don't get hit with a copyright for this. But I'm going to show it here. This is, again, McHugh and Josh Horowitz talking about his Superman pitch.
It's been some distance now. What was your Superman pitch? You pitched another story after Man of Steel.
I'll never tell, but boy, it was fucking good.
He says, "I'll never tell,"
but
it was good.
Green
Very
Lantern
interesting.
Was what had come to me, and Green Lantern's a tough one.
Green Lantern,
very
that
tough.
Power that
It's a very the power is very
the weakness
very
stuff.
Yep, and I cracked it, and it was and it was fun.
It was fun.
And watching him learn how to use that power and giving that power.
Oh man,
flaw,
this is
right. So that
so that
it was not pure invincibility.
Yeah.
There was.
I don't know if you guys can hear that.
It's all just yellow, like that was like you're talking about Green Lantern.
No. Well, the whole the whole concept of Green Lantern is the ring has to be recharged.
Right.
The ring has to be recharged, and that's not a bug. That's a feature. That's the thing that made it. Yes, you have infinite power, but you only have so much. You only have so much battery life, right. And that can run out at inconvenient times.
Yeah.
That for me solved the whole Green Lantern problem. The costume is another thing, and you can figure that out. If you,
For the record, I
but
love
here's-
Josh Horowitz. I think
look
he's an
at any
excellent
superhero.
podcast host, and he acts.
And
he asks
growing up, if you had
incredible
told
questions.
me that there would ever be a Captain America or a Thor that did not have me laughing
Same.
hysterically at the character, and how that is proof. Just check your certainty, man. When you dismiss an idea, you're not dismissing my idea, you're dismissing yours. You're dismissing your concept of it. In the same way I was dismissing mine. So I realized, don't worry about the costume, worry about the character, and how do you give that character tension and stakes, and also how do you do it with Superman. And Henry had a take on that, and I suddenly realized how these two characters had amazing similarities, which also allowed for amazing conflict and an amazing universe-expanding resolution.
Now I'm just getting upset.
Yeah, but I will tell you, the first 5 minutes of my Superman movie, which was imagine you remember Pixar's Up,
Sure.
a sequence with no dialogue that covered that
Length of time.
character's.
Yeah.
Okay. The first 5 minutes of the movie was a setup after which you knew exactly what made Superman tick, and exactly what Superman was most afraid of, and why Superman made the choices that he made. And it would have been epic. It would have been epic. In 5 minutes, the scale of the movie would have been absolutely extraordinary. And the other thing, and I hope that anybody who watches this movie that enjoys the end of this movie walking
Now, this
away,
is obviously for
that's the
press
feeling I would want you to
for
walk
Mission
away from,
Impossible:
'cause
The
that's
Final
really what
Reckoning,
Superman is about. It's
because
about how
Mcquarrie has
it's
been doing the
about-
rounds with that.
it's
There's a
about
whole
being
fucking
inspired,
interview with
and
Josh
it's,
Horowitz, and Happy Sad Confused about all of this.
and the
Here's just a
joy
clip, and it's
that
super
character
fucking
created.
cool.
I don't think you need to live in the shadow of Donner's Superman.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to live in the shadow of John Williams' score.
God, I love that he said that. You don't need to live in the shadow
but you
of
do need
Donner's
to
Superman,
recognize
or live in the
that
shadow
that
of the
movie
Williams score.
captured better than any other with respect to everyone that has followed. It captured better than any other the heart of that character.
Yeah.
The problem with Superman is that when they constantly are trying to create bigger and bigger and bigger obstacles for a character with infinite power, Donner understood, and all the best sequences in Superman understand, that Superman's greatest obstacle is himself, followed potentially by Green Lantern.
All right. To be
It's all
continued.
right
Oh,
there,
that's funny.
guys. It's all right there.
Too funny. Okay. So he talks about Green Lantern being a thing in his script. I know Dave, the film junkie, my pal, talked about this on his Tuesday show. I think he talked about it on Tuesday, about how it's probably going to be Tom Cruise playing that role. I'm not 100% convinced that it would have been Tom Cruise, because he pointed out, had it been Tom Cruise would have overtaken Henry Cavill in the fucking Superman movie. Now, here's some tea. Yeah, I'll call it tea. I spoke to Mcquarrie. Not like verbally, not in person, but over a long time ago when I had Twitter. Right before Fallout came out? Right after Fallout came out? I don't quite remember. But he had DM'd me over something that I had gotten misconstrued about Tom Cruise. It's where the don't believe everything you hear sunshine comes in. But there was some bogus article about Tom Cruise treating Navy personnel, people in the Navy, like crap. And I had commented on it. And Mcquarrie corrected me, and he DM'd me promptly after. And so we had a pretty lengthy 2-hour conversation, not only about Tom Cruise. So I got some insight into Tom Cruise and how he operates and the kind of person he actually is, as opposed to, some of the bullshit you'd probably see online. And so I asked him, I was like, so is it true you pitched a Superman movie for Henry Cavill to WB? And they declined it. And he confirmed that to me. And I believe he used the phrasing soft sequel or soft reboot. I'm pretty sure it was like soft sequel. I don't quite remember, but basically everything that we had seen would have been intact, but it would have been a very different story than whatever, Snyder and co had established and were going to establish. It was going to be kind of just its own Superman story that would have, as he put it, like dovetailed into. I think he meant Green Lantern, but I think he typed Green Hornet. Like I said, I don't remember. I don't have my Twitter account anymore. I don't have the messages, and I'd been sitting on this information for quite some time. Like I told him, like, look, I'm not going to fucking take screenshots and blast this over the internet. Don't worry. Like, your secret's safe with me. You're good, man. So, yeah, like I've known about this for years, like literal years. Since Mission Impossible Fallout, I've known about this pitch, and the amount of just disdain I have for the fucking mooks at WB at the time, like Toby Emmerich and fucking Walter Hamada and all these goon dumb motherfuckers for passing up on this. It will never cease to amaze me. But then again, like, I think the idea of a Superman movie with Green Lantern in it actually would have benefited the DCEU at the time, because we didn't even get a Green Lantern theatrically. If you go by just, again, you guys know I'm a huge Snyder Cut fan, but if you just go by what was shown theatrically, we did not get Green Lantern at all in the Justice League movie, the theatrical cut, that fucking bastardized Whedon cut. We didn't get Green Lantern anywhere. Nowhere to be seen. There was no Green Lantern ever at all. So I think having Mcquarrie come in and do a Superman movie at the time, hot off the heels of Fallout, if I'm WB and I look at what fucking Fallout did, I'm firing whoever the fuck passed up his pitch for Superman. Well, clearly that didn't fucking happen, but anyway. Yeah, bottom line is, like, I've known about this for a while, and I'm glad he's kind of talking about it. I didn't get any story details. I didn't get anything in particular. I just remember him telling me that it would have been like its own thing. Superman was the main focus. Green Lantern would have had a part to play. That's pretty much it. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's not news to me. But of course, the internet's running fucking buck wild with it, as the internet tends to. I'm sure on Twitter, there's all manner of, oh my God, we didn't get this from McHugh. We were robbed. Now we're getting this James Gunn slop. Oh God, why? And those dumb fucking cultists can just pound the biggest amount of sand imaginable. You sad sobs. Because let's face it, you probably would have hated his movie too, because it wasn't Zack Snyder. Bunch of dumb fucking hypocrites. Yeah, Antonio remembers. I've talked about it, but I've never I'm reiterating what Mcquarrie just told Horowitz. Like, what he said is nothing new that I've said elsewhere. Like, I've known about this for years, and it shocks me that there are people out there today who are like, oh fuck, he did that? Yeah, he did. It's a shame. Would have been cool. Would have been really fucking cool. I would have loved to have seen that movie. But it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers, everyone. That's for sure. I credit you on another channel called Oh So Curious. Thank you, Antonio. I appreciate that. A director of F1 who directed Top Gun Maverick was going to direct Green Lantern movie, right? Never heard of that. Don't know about that. The DCEU was just a mess as a whole. You're right, Donovan. After Justice League, everything became a fucking mess. And that's entirely on Warner Brothers. I wonder if Chris McQuarrie wanted to direct a DCU movie with James Gunn. I can't say for sure. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Christopher McQuarrie's pretty happy kind of just collaborating with Tom Cruise and making these massive action epics. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm not going to say what director should do and do not a project, right? Like, obviously, unless it's like a fucking Taika Waititi, I don't want him anywhere near a big IP, but different strokes, different folks. But when it comes to McQuarrie, like, I feel like the guy's earned his pedigree to basically do whatever the fuck he wants. So that's just my take on it. Like, I think he's more than capable of picking and choosing whatever he wants to do, and whatever he wants to do, I will at the very least watch. Like, I actually just did an entire rewatch of Mission Impossible, the franchise, over this past week. And I got to be honest, Fallout is probably still the best one to date. That, again, that's just me. Like, I thought Dead Reckoning was cool, but I still think Fallout is the better movie. I think Fallout is arguably like the best Mission Impossible movie made to date, even though 2 and 3 are really good. I think 3 has a really great villain, and 2 is just this fucking massive John Woo fucking action fest, and I love it to death for that. I think, what is it? Ghost Protocol is a fun one. What's the other one after that? So there's Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3, Ghost Protocol. What's the fucking one in between Protocol? What is in between Protocol and fucking Fallout? What the fuck is it? There's a 5th one. God damn it, I can't remember what the 5th one's called. Rogue Nation. Thank you, Donovan. Yes, Rogue Nation. There we go. Rogue Nation was the one that... Did it go... Was it Rogue Nation then Ghost Protocol? I get those two releases mixed the fuck up. But one of those is the one McQuarrie started on. One of them was Brad Bird. So, yeah. I would have liked to have seen what McQuarrie would have done with Superman, especially Henry Cavill. It feels like they had a really great time working with each other on Fallout. So, yeah, I would have liked to have seen it. It would have been cool. Would have definitely been cool. Would have been dope as fuck. Would have been dope as fuck. Okay, so speaking of Mission Impossible, it's kind of a decent segue into my last thing I'm going to talk about. That's box office banter. That's right. So, obviously, Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible are making fucking buku dollars at the box office. They had a really excellent Memorial Day weekend. So, where's the top at? Come on, show me the fucking totals. I'm gonna have to do it individually. All right, whatever. Okay. So, as it stands, Lilo and Stitch is currently sitting at a worldwide total of $452 million. And Mission Impossible Final Reckoning is currently sitting at a worldwide total of $231 million. That's great. Both of them. And that's not even including this upcoming week. Well, we don't know what both movies are going to do for this weekend. We don't know yet because that weekend hasn't come and passed. So, obviously, Lilo and Stitch is like, don't be surprised. This movie will pass $500 million this weekend. I guarantee you that movie is going to fucking pass up 500 million, if not more, by Sunday's day end. I guarantee you that. Mission Impossible, if it gets to 300 million worldwide, that wouldn't surprise me. I think it's due for that. I know it costs like $400 million to make before marketing, but then again, they had to factor in, the fact that it was partially filmed during COVID, with, Dead Reckoning Part 1 back when it was called Dead Reckoning Part 2. And then they got hit with the strikes after they went back to film additional stuff. And it was a total clusterfuck. So I don't doubt that regardless of however this movie performs, I think Paramount is still like, yeah, no, we'll make more if we want to. Like, I don't doubt it one bit. I mean, even the ending of Final Reckoning, from what I understand, I haven't seen it yet, but the ending is open-ended enough for Ethan Hunt and crew to assemble back for another Mission Impossible, pun intended. But if you saw in the thumbnail, this isn't the box office banter I wanted to touch on. Lately, I've been seeing people talk about the box office between two Marvel movies. Those two Marvel movies are, of course, Captain America: Brave New World and Thunderbolts. The thing I've been seeing a lot is people are like, I guess, kind of having a fit or disappointed that Thunderbolts is not making as much money as Captain America did. And I gotta be honest, guys, like, okay, so here's the short answer as to why. The short answer is competition, i.e. Lilo and Stitch, Final Destination Bloodlines, Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning. Ultimately, that is the short answer. The competition. The more detailed reasoning behind that is, check this out. So, this is the domestic total gross for Captain America: Brave New World. Okay? So, and I'm using Box Office Mojo as my metric. Currently sitting at a worldwide total of $415 million. If I'm not mistaken, they just yanked it out of theaters as if what I'm seeing here is correct. May 16th to 18th, so a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It's domestic weekend earnings, right? Looking at the change. So we have, it's opening weekend right here for February 17th from February 14th to 17th, President's Day weekend. $100 million opening weekend. It's pretty solid. It's great. Beautiful, even. But then you go down to February 28th, March 2nd. So that would be its second week. Its second week box office drop. It went down. So its first weekend, or rather its second weekend technically, from February 21st to February 23rd, it made a grand total of $28 million. And mind you, this is only domestic. These are only domestic numbers. So that just means here in the United States. $28 million and some change. And still has the same number of theaters, 4,105. Now jump into its third week, February 28th to March 2nd. It got a bit of an uptick, but also kind of a downtick because it had a percentage of 47.3%. It made $14 million. However, the amount of theaters it had, 3,800 theaters. By the time Captain America: Brave New World got into its second weekend, it already lost theaters. And let me see, what opened after Captain America in early March? Because I don't remember, but I feel like there was something that opened up that weekend. Let's see. Was it Snow White? It couldn't have been Snow White. February. Wait. It's January. February. Captain America: Brave New World. Okay, so Mickey 17 came on the 7th. Literally a week after that. March 7th through 9th. However, the weekend of the 28th, the following films came out. And that was My Dead Friend Zoe, Cold Wallet, No Address, Uppercut, The Accidental Gateway Driver. And that's that. But going into the next weekend, you had Mickey 17, Plankton the Movie, but that was Netflix. Fuck, Marry, Kill, The Senior, Euphis, Queen of the Ring, Rule Breakers, Bloat. So the biggest one that probably would have taken theaters away from that would probably be Mickey 17, which also didn't exactly perform all that well. But my point is, after not even 2 weeks at the box office, it started to lose theaters. And this is a continuous trend. March 7th to 9th, it lost another 320 theaters. March 14th through 16th, 230 theaters. March 21st, 23rd weekend, that would be the weekend of Snow White. It lost an additional 350. So you tally all of that up, that's 365. Then the number 230 of 365 would be 885. So by the time Snow White had come out, and that weekend happened, March 23rd, 21st to 23rd, Captain America Brave New World lost close to 1,000 theaters, and it was down a little more than 1,000. It was down by about 1,100 theaters, down to 2,900 theaters. And then the following week after that, it was down to 2,380. The week after that, April 4th through 6th, another 1,750 loss. And then by the time Easter happened, it was only down to 155 theaters. But May 2nd through 4th, for whatever reason, it gained 55 theaters back, probably to it probably maybe a double release between that and Thunderbolts, and it went back up to 105 theaters. So from February 17th to May 18th, 2-month time span, it went from having 4,000 theaters to 30. Now let's look at Thunderbolts. Domestic weekend. So Thunderbolts it's not done with its theatrical run. That's the thing. But what's interesting is by the time it got to its second week, third week, by the time it got to its third week, i.e. last weekend, it was down by nearly 1,000 theaters. Whereas with Captain America, it didn't start losing theaters like on that kind of level until the middle of March. So, and also again, Thunderbolts is losing theaters and it's losing screen time to accommodate the current situation. But I've seen a lot of people make this fucking asinine statement of like, oh God, Thunderbolts is going to make less than fucking Captain America. I'm like, guys, theatrical run isn't even fucking done yet. It's not even been in theaters for 2 months. It hasn't even been given the same fucking time frame. Like, come on. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? It's made $360 million worldwide. That's, let's see, 415 minus 360. What the fuck is that? Math. I hate math, but I also kind of like math. $55 million. There's a $55 million difference between a quadra-sequel-ish thing, quadra-soft sequel with Captain America, because Anthony Mackie is taking up the mantle, and this is essentially another Captain America installment, right? Okay. And this is going up against a brand new fucking team of people in the MCU. Marvel B-list films that aren't associated with major plot line generally do far less. That's not my point, William. I get what you're saying, but that's not the point I'm making. Like, yes, there are other factors as to why Marvel movies and superhero movies in general aren't doing as well as they used to in a pre-pandemic landscape. There are a multitude of factors, i.e., superhero movies often feeling the same. People getting tired of Marvel Studios' wacky narrative of where the fuck the multiverse is going. Lack an Avengers movie to really consolidate things and give them a direction. And even Captain America being the movie that it was not terrible, but it wasn't a great, well-made movie. Thunderbolts, on the other hand, was a really great, well-made movie. But the thing is I see people saying, oh no, the Thunderbolts is making less than Captain America Brave New World. Well, guess what, jackass? The movie hasn't even been in theaters for the same amount of time as Captain America has. And on top of that, it's got competition to deal with. Captain America did not have competition at fucking all. Like, at all. It had no competition whatsoever. Like, we're just now finally starting to see it. It just went to Disney Plus this past weekend. So I think it's just really unfair to, what's the word I'm looking for here? To words are hard. It is too early to really call Thunderbolts making less than Captain America. Premature. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Premature. It is too premature to make that statement yet. Because again, the film hasn't been in theaters as long as Captain America was, and Captain America did not have the fucking competition that Thunderbolts has to deal with, i.e. Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible. I guarantee you, by the time this Memorial Day weekend sets in, and even next week, it will lose more theaters, thus probably garnering less profit overall. But I do think that in time, it will probably climb and meet that. It will probably make as much as Captain America Brave New World when all is said and done. By the time, I would guess by July 2nd, by the time Jurassic World Rebirth comes out, we will have a better idea of what this film's final number at the worldwide box office will be. Mind you, again, my metrics are purely based in domestic. I didn't even look at how many theaters it lost worldwide. But again, like, it's really hard to say. But I'm just like pouring water on this whole like, oh, Thunderbolts doom and gloom. It's not going to be as good as Captain America Brave New World. Like, guys, gals, shut the fuck up, okay? Like, this is kind of ridiculous. Thank you, Cameron. Yes, it also had Final Destination Bloodlines to be competing with not even 2 weeks later. So, yeah. This narrative of doom and gloom, oh, fuck, Captain America made more money and it was a lesser movie. Like, there are reasons why Captain America at the moment has more money than the Thunderbolts does. And I think if people actually took a step back and thought about it, maybe did some research and looked at some fucking numbers, well, there's an idea. But overall, I just think that it's too premature right now to say that Thunderbolts and worldwide number will be less than Captain America Brave New World. If it is, it is. Whatever. But you're comparing a movie that has been out in theaters for over 2 months and just went to streaming, as opposed to a movie that opened fucking 3 weeks ago? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. Okay, 4 weeks. 4 weeks ago. We're talking about two different fucking movies here. But I think what we're seeing with Thunderbolts in conjunction with, what is it? Fucking Bloodlines. Final Destination Bloodlines. Lilo and Stitch. Mission Impossible. Don't be surprised when something like this happens again in July. I'm dead serious. I'm not trying to spin a narrative. I'm not trying to put gloom and doom over Jurassic Park, Superman, or Fantastic Four. I'm just stating, like, this is the nature of the theater landscape right now. So when Jurassic World hits, it's going to have a fucking fabulous opening weekend. There's no doubt about that. But once Superman comes in, the dino legs are getting cut. I'm sorry. Like, the numbers and the box office haul, once Superman comes out a week and a half later, Jurassic World is going to be losing money. And then 2 weeks after Superman's box office is going to get affected by Fantastic Four. And also, It's important to remember. There's also another I Know What You Did Last Summer movie happening and a fucking Smurfs movie happening. Whether those have any fucking grander impact on any of the 3 movies I just listed, couldn't tell you. But I will say that the I Know What You Did Last Summer movie, it has Jennifer Love Hewitt and fucking Freddie Prinze Jr. in it. And it probably cost a fraction of the cost of what it cost to make all 3 of those movies. So the box office success for that film is going to be vastly different than the other 3 I just mentioned. Smurfs, if that movie makes money, I will be fucking shocked. Because I can tell you right now, ain't nobody fucking talking about Smurfs. Ain't nobody giving a damn about the fucking Smurfs movie. It is all about Super Jurassic Fantastic. It is all about all 3 of those movies this summer, July. I guarantee you. But what we're looking at right now with Thunderbolts, Lilo and Stitch, and Mission Impossible, and Final Destination Bloodlines, rinse repeat it for July. The same type of shit's gonna fucking happen. So, look, it'd be nice if Superman and Fantastic Four somehow made their way to making $1 billion, and we'd be right back to holy shit, superhero movies make $1 billion again. Woo! We need to set expectations accordingly and be realistic about what goes down at the box office. And that's just my 2 cents. And that is my box office banter for this week. Well, let's see if we can do something like that next week, because that was actually kind of fun. But I'm just saying, like, I'm tired of seeing this narrative that Captain America is making more money. No, it's done making money. Its theatrical run has ended. Thunderbolts is still in theaters. So it is not done yet. So to say one is going to make less money than the other, that's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. It's just fucking asinine. And also, there are other factors as to why Thunderbolts is not making as much money as it possibly could. Because again, I just mentioned Lilo and Stitch, Mission Impossible, Final Destination Bloodlines. So again, I implore everyone here, and I'm sure everyone is level setting themselves accordingly. But seriously, don't be surprised if Jurassic World Rebirth does not make $1 billion. Do not be surprised when Superman does not make $1 billion. Don't be surprised when Fantastic Four doesn't make $1 billion, guys. Like, the age of superhero dominant films is done. Like, I mean Marvel Studios and DC Studios. This is less of a problem for DC Studios, more a problem for Marvel Studios. But even then, it looks like both of them are kind of like taking the hint of like, hey, you guys should probably stop putting out shit that looks the fucking same. It would probably be a good idea. But be that as it may, this summer is going to be very interesting. The theaters are going to be profitable. That much I can assure all of you. People will be at the theaters all month of July. July is probably going to be the biggest month for theaters in the year of 2025. Because again, there's so much to choose from, and that's also part of the problem. Theater tickets cost upwards of $20 per person. And families are probably going to want to see. Listen, if Jurassic World Rebirth is like the horror film that it's being marketed to be, I could see parents coming out of that first week and being like, nope, we're not going back to see that a second time. That scared the fuck out of my kid. We're going to go watch Superman. And then maybe a couple weeks later, we'll go watch Fantastic Four. But if you're just one person, that's easy for you to be like, oh, I can go see all 3 of these fucking movies. Of course it is. You're only worrying about one fucking person. You don't have your wife, your 2 kids, and fucking food to worry about buying. That alone is $100. Tickets for 4 people is close to $100. Then you factor in food, that's probably another $20-30. The theater experience is getting expensive, and it's only going to get more expensive. And that's not including high value theaters like an IMAX or an Alamo Drafthouse. Okay? It's important to keep that shit in mind too. But overall, guys and gals, people, set your expectations accordingly. And if there's something at the box office, something at the theater you don't want to see, then don't fucking see it. Show them where you put your money where your mouth is. Me? I'm a single 33-year-old gentleman. I'm gonna go watch all 3 of these fucking movies. Besides that, I'll need something to tear me away from my Nintendo Switch 2. Which, next week, I may be doing something different with this show pertinent to the Nintendo Switch. I may just like go back and forth between streaming the Switch, then doing my show, then doing the Switch again. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. Not really figured that out yet. But yeah, I get my Switch 2 next week on Wednesday. I'll have Thursday and Friday. I might just do a fucking full day of streaming it on Thursday and then just do my normal show on Friday. Not really sure yet. We'll see what happens. But this has been fun, guys. You know, I've gone way over my fucking normal time limit that I tend to go over. But I just want to say thanks to everyone in the chat. You know, Jeffrey, Antonio, Donovan, Braden, Dalton, Cameron, William, Chainsaw, Daryl, Jeffrey, Omega, Taladia. Like you guys are the reason I come and do the show. I come. God, I feel like I missed somebody. Iggy, Hunter Iggy, I saw you in there too. And Draven, I saw you coming at the very end as well, guys. So again, thanks for always supporting me. I really appreciate it. And you know, if you guys feel like being extra generous, you know, there's a fucking PayPal link. There's a fucking Venmo link down there if you guys are feeling extra fucking cool. No have to, no fucking, no obligation. But also, just real quick, I'm also going to plug, watch Party Nation every Tuesday. Watch Council Creators every Wednesday. I was not on either show this past week. I told Lance and Chainsaw, like, hey, you know, I kind of need a break. I'm going to focus on some other things. So they know there's no bad blood. And that's the reason why I wasn't on those shows. Just letting you guys know ahead of time, like, hey, no bad blood, no nothing. It's just, you know, I'm taking a bit of a break from just doing a lot of shit, just doing my own shit. But also check out the Vodka stream with Dave. I think I'll probably be on that tonight. Depends if I get a link. Hopefully I do. But also check out his DC Fanimated show. He does with Scott. They had not this past week's episode because it was a Superman episode. The week before that, they had one with Ernie Altbacher. If you're a DC animated fan, that is an episode worth listening to. He also has a Kickstarter for his own personal project he's trying to help out. And, you know, we're all creators here. If you can just toss a couple shekels at Ernie's way, I'm sure that would be really helpful. I will try and edit this to include that link if I can. Hopefully I'll be able to, but if not, you know, I'll post a link in Threads or wherever. Even I'll post it even on fucking YouTube. I will post the link there on my YouTube page so you guys can see it. But until next week, guys, thank you, Lance. I see you in the chat. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Thank you for listening to me to once again reiterate that I was right about Marvel not going to San Diego Comic-Con this year because I fucking called that shit. But yeah, thank you, everyone. I do the show every week for you guys. I appreciate you all coming in and giving me support. I love every last one of you motherfuckers. As always, guys, take care, stay safe, keep it classy, fucking catch your Pokemon, play your games, be loud, fart loud, dream big, do all the things. I fucking love every one of you, you know. I love you all. Good night.